بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. How's everybody? Good, inshallah. طيبين بإذن الله تعالى. May Allah bless you all. Tonight's lesson, we can do the lights now, please, inshallah. Alaikum salam. Yeah. So tonight's lesson, inshallah ta'ala, we will move forward with Imam number 4 and 5. Inshallah ta'ala. Or, 5 and 6. 5 and 6. Okay, who were the first 4 Imams that we mentioned last week? Imam al-Bukhari, Imam Muslim, Imam Abu Dawood, then Imam Tirmidhi. Okay, so how is the order of these 6 Imam? يعني نوعية ترتيب هؤلاء الأئمة الستة. إيش القانون والضابط؟ هل التقديم والترتيب على حسب الولادة مثلا، أو على حسب يعني الوفاة مثلا، أو على حسب الأصحية، الأشهر، الأحفظ؟ ما الضابط؟ ما الذي جعلنا نقدم البخاري؟ وما الذي يعني جعلنا أخرنا ابن ماجه؟ فهمنا السؤال؟ إيش القانون في الترتيب والتقديم؟ ابن ماجه توفي قبل هذا، كتابه أصح أنفع أخدم، ليش يعني إيش فلسفة الترتيب والتقديم؟ What is the rule, or what are the rules behind these Imams being in this order? Why is Bukhari first? He's the most famous, he's the biggest, his book is the most authentic. Why is Ibn Majah coming last? His book is the least popular, least authentic, etc., etc., etc. I'm not going to give you the answer, but my job is يعني ما وعدتكم بالإجابة، وإنما وظيفتي أن أورد يعني أهيج الأفكار. فهمتم؟ خليكم تفكروا. نعم، السطوح شيء، بعدين الغوص عرفتم? So that's my job, not to give you all of the answers, but my job is to get you to think critically. And if I left this masjid after all of these weeks with no accomplishments, except for the fact that I got you to scratch a little bit beneath the surface and to think a little more, that makes sense, or that doesn't make sense, or why? I've always asked myself this question: why is it such and such? Then inshallah I would consider myself to be a successful instructor. The instructor doesn't always give you the information. The instructor always doesn't give you the answer. But oftentimes the successful instructor is the one who leaves you hanging without answering the question. And that's the instructor that you'll value much more later on in life. Is the one that allowed you to grow and develop by yourself. And just bringing up the issue. I didn't even know it was an issue. I didn't even know there was a discussion on this. I didn't even know it was difference of opinion. Let alone what's correct, what's the proof. But just me planting that doubt, or that confusion in your head, which will then push you to read more, listen more, study more, and find the answers yourself. Everybody on the same page? Khair, inshallah. So therefore, one can ask the question, what is the rule, or what are the rules in these Imams being placed in this order? Is it by their births, their deaths, their ages, their popularity, etc.? All right? What's important is tonight we have Imam 5 and Imam 6. So we mentioned those are the 6. All right, briefly, what did we say about Imam al-Tirmidhi? Briefly, باختصار. ذكرنا عن الترمذي ترجمته، حياته، مولده، وفاته، كتابه، يعني تفضل. لا ما قلنا هذا. We didn't say that. You're getting closer. We said that his book is the best pound for pound. Not the most authentic, not the biggest, not the most popular, not the most accepted, but you're getting the most well-rounded book out of all 6. Everything that you need in one is there in order, in plain sight, in plain view. And inshallah ta'ala, we're going to see that. لما نقرأ من الكتاب inshallah. طيب, what else did we mention? Briefly. Come again. If you miss one, you shoot again. Don't be discouraged. Bismillah. Tirmidhi's book, he actually mentions explicitly the fiqh issues and the madhahib. Okay, who said this and why? Bukhari, rahimahullah ta'ala, طبعا فقه البخاري في تراجمه. كتاب البخاري كتاب فقه لا شك في ذلك. الجامع الصحيح كتاب فقه. Bukhari's book has tons of fiqh in it. In the chapter heading, Bukhari mentions the different masail. He quotes the athar. But Tirmidhi's explanation and the presentation of the fiqh is a little different. It's a bit more clear. It's a bit more direct to the point. Naam? Tayyib. And this is one of the reasons why some people say the student who يعني الطالب طبعا طالب متميز في مرحلة يعني يحق له مثلا أن يبدأ يعني دراسة مثل هذه الكتب الستة على أصولها، يبدأ بمسلم قبل البخاري، لأن الكتاب مسلم أميل إلى الصناعة الحديثية أكثر من كتاب البخاري. كتاب البخاري فيه صناعة حديثية كثيرة جدا غنية، ولكنه في ميلان كثير إلى الفقه والخلافات والمقارنة. عرفتم؟ Tirmidhi, his explanation is a bit different of the fiqh. He mentions the names, is a bit different. What else did we mention about Tirmidhi? Where was Tirmidhi from? Just a quick exercise. It's not our lesson tonight. Quick review. Naysabur, Tirmidh. Where is Tirmidh? Not South Asia. One of the stands. Allahu Akbar. You can't go wrong with that. Tayyib. Where is Tirmidh? Iran. What was the general name? We said Ma Wara'a An-Nahar. Ma Wara'a An-Nahar. Biladu Ma Wara'a An-Nahar. And we said that in English that's called what, Yusuf? What is that called? Ma Wara'a An-Nahar. Behind the river. Tayyib. All right, what else did we mention last week? Tayyib, the Imams learned and benefited from each other. Tayyib, even though they were independent Imams by themselves, they still learned and benefited from each other. What else? Ego, the ego. That's one of the greatest lessons from that, is control the ego. The ego gets in the way. Community, the household, the country, people's egos. I'm too big for this, I'm too important for this, I'm too much of a big shot, etc., etc. And it messes things up. The master has enough humility to sit down and learn from his student. To learn from his student. All right? That doesn't take away from your knowledge. That makes the people love you more. When the people see that you're the man, and that you have enough humbleness to do this and to humble yourself, that you steal the people's hearts even more. Because the ego is false fear that the people are going to disrespect me. They're not going to respect me if they see me doing this. They're going to lose their, that's why I have the ego. But in reality, if you really want to steal and capture the people's hearts as their leader, you do humble acts and watch how they think and feel about you. If you go outside and shovel the snow and put the salt down, and you're the imam of the masjid, you're the top financial guy in the masjid, that's going to send a message to the people. He is the big shot out there bending his back to shovel the snow. Versus all the other people, they can do that. That's not for me. I'm above that. All right? We're talking about the psychology of politics and governing men. Naam? Tayyib, what else did we mention? Fadal? One of them migrated to Kufa. And where else did he migrate to? This one. What was the city that the leader wanted him to reside in? Basra. Specifically. And Abu Dawud told him what? He told him no. Knowledge doesn't know a class. ما في طبقية في العلم. أبدا. العنصرية الطبقية هذه ما في العلم. في الناس أكيد. أما في العلم الأصيل الصافي لا يجوز أن يكون. All right, this one is better. This one is from this family. There's no aristocrat or bureaucrat or autocrat in knowledge. Knowledge is supposed to be the free man, the slave man, the rich, the poor. Knowledge, the people are supposed to be equal. All right. What else did we talk about last week? Muslim was tough. He wasn't a softie. He had a little bit of, attitude. He had a little bit of anger. He was confident, right? He wasn't a pushover. What else did we talk about last week, briefly? And then we can get started, inshallah. Okay. So before we deal with the next biographies, I brought a few books with me here, like I tried to do last week. This is a copy of Imam Abu Dawud's Sunan, one volume, obviously. One volume of one print. There are many prints and there are many versions of Imam Abu Dawud's book, As-Sunan. This is one, not the, but one of the best, one of the most authentic versions here. Volume 3. As well, Imam Tirmidhi's book, one of the prints. There are many, one of the versions. And this is not the best, but it's from them, inshallah. Volume 1 of Imam Tirmidhi's book. And on the cover of the book it says, Al-Jami' As-Sahih. وهو Sunan Al-Tirmidhi. Kitab Al-Sunan. Here is one volume, big book, large book, of Jami' Al-Tirmidhi. And it says here, مع شرحه تحفة الأحوذي. One of the most classical explanations of Imam al-Tirmidhi's book is Tuhfat al-Ahwadhi. Here, it's a very interesting version. The script, the print, old school. And as well, Imam Abu Dawud, rahimahullah ta'ala, one of the most popular explanations / commentaries is a book which is called Aun al-Ma'bud. Aun al-Ma'bud. And of course, these scholars who wrote these explanations, they are famous and infamous to be from what part of the world? Anybody know? Mubarak Furi, Al-Azim Abadi. So once again, the lineage, if you come from the Indian subcontinent and the different subgenres or offshoots of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, whatever the case may be, you get the point I'm trying to make. There's a rich history of the Hadith culture, right? A rich history of Hadith culture in those lands, all right? And all different races, Arab, non-Arab, the Horn of Africa, West Africa, North, different parts of the world have these different lineages, which many people don't know about, okay? With regards to the way of the people of Hadith. Okay, so before we get started with Imam Ibn Majah and the Nasai, do we have a volunteer to read for us, inshallah? Anybody? Volunteer? Brave enough? Bismillah, Yusuf. Jazakallah khairan. Don't worry, the book won't bite, inshallah. I promise. All right, so let's start from there, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Now you can sit down. Fadal. Everybody listen carefully, please. باب المرأة تصوم بغير إذن زوجها. هذه مسألة إيش؟ فقهية. حكم فقهي. Can a woman fast without her husband's permission? Meaning if her husband is there, he's home, she wants to fast. Why is this even an issue? I.e., husband, he says, come here, my wife, I love you. And she says, Inni sa'ima. Inni sa'ima. You get the point? It's going to be a problem. She can't give him his haqq if she's fasting. And we're not talking about Ramadan. We're talking about additional fasts. Nafila. Mondays and Thursdays. The 3 days out of every month. Naam, Ashura, right? Arafah, etc. She wants to make sunnah fasts. Can she make those sunnah fasts without asking her husband's permission? We got the point? What's the ruling on this? We're going to see what Imam Abu Dawud tells us. تفضل. حدثنا إمام أبو داود يقول أن الشيخ فلان فلاني هو الذي حدثنا. We were sitting in his circle, we were his students, and he told us what he heard from his teacher. So Imam Abu Dawud's Sheikh is who? حدثنا إيش؟ الحسن حسن ibn Ali. هذا اسم شيخ أبي داود. شيخ الحسن بن علي من؟ قال حدثنا عبد الرزاق. قال أخبرنا معمر حمام ابن منبه عن أنه سمع أبا هريرة. حمام تلميذ من؟ المكثرون. هاي طيب هذا الآن العلم عايش. نعم is living now. طيب ايش الاسناد؟ من يعيد الاسناد؟ من يعيد الاسناد؟ سؤال واضح. Who can repeat that chain of narration quickly? Bismillah. Imam Abu Dawud narrated from? Don't be shy. Hassan ibn Ali. I'm going to show you how easy this is. Who narrated from? Abdul Razak. Who narrated from? Yalla. Come on, keep pushing. You're almost there. MashaAllah. Ma'mar narrated from? Hammam ibn Munabbih, who's a student of? It's easy. Challenge yourself to memorize, and you will be shocked how easy it is. And you keep trying, you keep practicing, you keep reviewing, your teacher keep pushing you, you'll be shocked how Allah will make it easy for you. Knowledge doesn't bite. Knowledge of hadith doesn't bite. It's easy. People make it seem so intimidating. But if you put some effort in, you'll accomplish. And there's nothing that feels better. You feel satisfaction. When you go home from the masjid that night, it says, حَفِظْتُ حَدِيثًا عَنْ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ وسلم بِإِسْنَادِهِ. Who can say that in 2024? Imam of the masjid. I'm not saying this Imam of this masjid, I don't know, but I'm just saying in general. Imam of the masjid. مَا يَحْفَظ حَدِيث بِسَنَدِهِ. This Mufti, whoever his name is, he doesn't know a hadith with his chain of narration. But you. And one of the virtues of memorizing hadith is that you'll be, inshallah ta'ala, with the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, and mentioning the Prophet's name. And you're connecting yourself with the past and the great righteous Imams of the past. Everybody understand this? طيب فضل. أنه سمع أبا هريرة قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تصوم امرأة وبعلها شاهد. يعني وزوجها مقيم ليس على حال السفر. لا تصوم امرأة وزوجها موجود وبعلها شاهد. طيب إلا بإذنه عليها أن تستأذنه. عندك إشكال؟ معلش أصوم اليوم. شوف بعد المغرب إن شاء الله. طيب no problem بإذن الله. تفضل. غير رمضان. رمضان ما تحتاج إذن. There's no seeking of permission in Ramadan. Whether the husband likes it or not, she has to fast. Right? ولا تأذن في بيته. She isn't allowed to bring anyone in his home unless he approves. And the hadith clearly prevents us from many marital problems. نص الحديث يبعدنا عن كثير من المشاكل الزوجية اليوم. Is that one of the reasons why there's so much fighting and arguing is that you aren't the owner of the house. The woman is owning the house. She pays the bills. She pays the rent. She pays the interest-based mortgage, whatever the situation is. So how are you going to tell her what she can and cannot do? And she's working and providing for you. So the hadith says, fi baytihi, his house. The man is supposed to be the owner of the house. He is supposed to be the sultan of the house. He's supposed to make the rules. طيب. وهو شاهد إلا بإذنه. No problem. Your mother, your father, this one can come over. You can have guests. طيب. But if he says no, no means no. طيب. واصل. قال حدثنا عثمان ابن أبي شيبة. عثمان ابن أبي شيبة. قال حدثنا جرير عن الأعمش عن أبي صالح عن أبي سعيد. جاءت امرأة إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم تستفتيه تشتكي. جاءت امرأة. طيب. ونحن عنده الصحابة الرجال نشاهد ونسمع ما سيقول لهذه المرأة. شاكية زوجها, complaining about her husband. Oh Messenger of Allah, my husband Allah يؤذيني فيه قسوة يضربني. تفضل. إذا صليت يعني نافلة. Whenever I make extra prayers, he hits me, he beats me. Don't pray. Why are you praying so much? ويفطرني إذا صمت. تعالي خلاص. You can make your ibadah what? Afterwards, when I go to work. Let's be realistic now, no? When I'm working overtime, I'm traveling, then you can fast those extra days. But when I'm here in New Jersey, Bayonne, I don't want you to fast, right? There's going to be a problem. A conflict of what? Of interests. طيب, فضل. Allah. إلى آخر الحديث. شوف, look how much benefit we get from one hadith. How many marital problems based off of this one issue. Right? So this is a selection from Imam Abu Dawud's book. He gives the bab, he gives the isnad, he gives the hadith. And after the first hadith, notice Imam Abu Dawud, لم يعلق عليه بشيء. لم يعلق عليه بشيء. Tirmidhi, rahimahullah ta'ala, we're going to see how he does it. And how in most cases, 9 out of 10 times, he comments on every hadith. After every hadith. Imam Abu Dawud's comments here and there. Bukhari's comments here and there, more frequent than Abu Dawud. Muslim's comments here and there. All right, tayyib. So Abu Dawud, the only thing that he gave you was the bab, was the sanad, was the hadith, and obviously this is in what kitab? What book are we in, Yusuf? No, not the book, but the specific, the big chapter. The bab, al-kitab. Kitab amu min al-bab. What book do you think you're in right now? Kitab al-Siyam, Kitab al-Nikah, Kitab Ishrat al-Nisa. You guys answer the question too. The book of Nikah? What do you think? What do you think? Nikah? Nikah, Zawaj, same. What book do you think this is? Siyam, the book of fasting. Tayyib? All right. Khairan, Jazakallah khairan, Yusuf, ahsantum. Shukran, ahsantum. Every day, read a hadith from the original source. From the what? The original source. Not the internet, not the summarized version, but the what? Original source. Every single day. Tayyib. Tirmidhi, man lahu. أصحاب الشيوخ هناك المفروض يكون شباب. أيوة. جامع الترمذي. طيب قال, should I pick random or should I let you pick? Random? Bismillah. تفضل. باب ما جاء في السهو عن وقت صلاة أو صلاة العصر. بسم الله. جزاك الله خيرا.
باب ما جاء في السهو عن وقت صلاة العصر.
طيب. What's the last chain of narration? No. You're good. تفضل. Quick. تفضل. عثمان بن أبي شيبة. You thought I forgot, didn't you? Jarir. Nah, now you're a weak narrator. You're mixing chains together. Naam. Uthman ibn Abi Shayba. Jarir. Who's next? A'mash. From Abu Salih. From Abu Sa'id. صح؟ طيب فضل. بسم الله.
حدثنا قتيبة حدثنا الليث بن سعد عن نافع عن ابن عمر عن النبي صلى الله
عليه الصلاة والسلام.
قال الذي تفوته صلاة العصر فكأنما وتر أهله وماله.
الله المستعان. بسم الله. واصل. وفي الباب من روى نفس هذا الحديث من الصحابة. والآن هذا زيادة على كتاب أبي داود. صح؟ أفادك بأنه غير هذا الصحابي قد روى هذا الحديث كذلك. تفضل. وفي الباب
عن
بريدة نوفل
بن معاوية قال أبو عيسى
يعني الترمذي. أبو عيسى قال أبو عيسى. تفضل.
حديث ابن عمر حديث حسن صحيح.
صحح الحديث. أبو داود ما صحح الحديث. فائدة ثانية، زيادة ثانية، ميزة ثانية على كتاب أبي داود. قال
وقد رواه الزهري أيضا.
يذكر المتابعات. تفضل.
عن سالم عن أبيه عمر عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم
عليه الصلاة والسلام. طيب. بسم الله.
باب ما جاء في تعجيل الصلاة إذا أخرها الإمام.
طيب. باب ما جاء في السهو عن
تعجيل الصلاة.
لا، الذي فات، الذي سلف. باب ما جاء. أعيد الباب لو سمحت.
ما جاء في السهو عن صلاة.
السهو يعني النسيان الغفلة عن وقت
صلاة العصر
حتى يخرج وقتها والعياذ بالله. يدخل عليه صلاة وقت المغرب. What is the ruling? What's the punishment, the reward, the threat? What's the discussion concerning the one who misses Asr? The one who does not pray Asr. طيب. قال حدثنا قتيبة. That's ترمذي الشيخ. قتيبة. قال حدثنا ليث ابن سعد. قال حدثنا نافع من؟ مولى عن ابن عمر. قتيبة، ليث، نافع، ابن عمر. سهل. Easy. Simple. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الذي تفوته. الذي يعني للأسف he doesn't make asr without a valid excuse. فكأنما
الذي تفوته صلاة العصر فكأنما
فقد. As if you lost all of your family and all of your wealth because you missed asr. It's dangerous. Is your teenage son making asr every day in college? Is your teenage daughter going to school to be a dentist? Is she praying asr on time? Are you making asr on time every day? Am I making asr on time every day? So just think about that. The damage that's done to your faith when you miss asr. The Prophet ﷺ says, as if كَأَنَّمَا وُتِرَ, as if he lost, as if a tragedy fell upon his wife and all of his wealth. It was a major car accident. Your wife, your son, everybody died. And you have this lawsuit, you lost this money, your house is burnt down, no insurance. What will be the state of that person's mental health? Finding out that all of that happened in one quick moment to his family and his wealth. What will be his state? إيش يكون حاله؟ صعبة ولا لا؟ صعبة جدا. So just think about التهاون بصلاة العصر للأسف. We need to really reinvestigate our lives. I couldn't make asr because I was working. I couldn't make asr because I was playing sports. I couldn't make asr because I was doing this and I was doing that. And not just one day, you had a bad day. The next day, a whole week goes by. A whole month goes by. You're out, you're making salat al-asr. What will your faith be like? Fadal.
الذي تفوته صلاة العصر فكأنما وتر أهله وماله.
قال وفي الباب
عن
يعني في هذه المسألة سواء بهذا اللفظ أم بلفظ قريب مشابه. من رواه من الصحابة؟ قال بريدة ابن حسيب الأسلمي قال
في الباب عن بريدة ونوفل بن معاوية. قال أبو عيسى حديث ابن عمر حديث صحيح
حسن صحيح في غاية الصحة عنده. And the Tirmidhi collects a hadith which is oftentimes also collected by Bukhari and Muslim. But Tirmidhi is an independent imam. He declares the hadith to be sound, and he doesn't just say, my teacher Bukhari said it was sound. Individual personality. Right? طيب. Jazakallah khairan. Barakallahu fikum. Shukran. Hadith a day keeps the doctor away. Wa yakum. We'll do this another time, inshallah. Unless you guys want to really, Bismillah? All right, let's go. You shook your head. طيب. You can't read yet. Inshallah. A couple months. طيب. Jazakumullah khairan. All right, let's get started with Imam Ibn Majah. Where's Wahid? Wahid, he left? He snuck out again? Wahid is supposed to have my laser pointer. Yeah. Next week, huh? Inshallah. We make sure Wahid has the pointer. Huh? Inshallah. طيب. All right. Who's our reader tonight? Al-Imam al-Nisa'i. Ashab al-Yamin. Bismillah. أصله عفوا نسى. طيب. Imam Nasa'i, his actual name, his first name is Ahmed. That's his actual first name, Ahmed. Nasa'i, like the other Imams, except for Muslim, is just a nickname. But his first name isn't Nasa'i. His first name is Ahmed, the son of Shu'aib, the son of Ali, the son of Sinan, the son of Bahar, the son of Dinar, who's attributed to Nasa. Okay? And Nasa is a city in Khurasan. So the same region, North Central or Central Asia, Persia, Afghanistan, Iran, that area, general area, Nasa'i. Some may say Nisa'i, but inshallah, the al-afsah wal-asah, Nasa'i bil-fath, walaysa bil-kasr. All right? Wallahu ta'ala alam. Walida? So he was born in the year 215. Similar to Bukhari. Bukhari was born earlier. Muslim was born earlier. Abu Dawood was born earlier or later? Tirmidhi, but for sure they're all in a what? Similar time bracket. Okay, he was born 215. وَكَانَ أَحَدْ أَعْلَمِ الدِّينِ. He was a great illustrious scholar. وَأَرْكَانَ الْحَدِيثِ. One of the main arkan, the pillars of hadith. Imamu ahli asrihi. He was the top. No one was higher, stronger than him of his era. وَمُقَدَّمُهُمْ وَعُمْدَتُهُمْ. He was in the front. وَتَعْدِيلُهُ وَجَرْهُ. And he was a man who spoke on the narrators of hadith. He didn't just compile a book. He didn't just write a book, but he was a critic. And now which is called ilm al-rijal, or ilm al-ruwat, or ilm al-jarh wa ta'dil, the biographical evaluation, the criticism and praise of men. هذا ثقة, هذا سيء الحفظ, هذا etc. طيب. قال الحاكم دار قطني مقدم عفوا طيب. Al-Hakim, who was a great imam, perhaps we'll mention his biography hopefully another time, he's not a part of the six. He quoted an Imam Daraqutni, who was a great, unreal Imam. His memory was unreal. But he was much later after the six Imams. So these are two really big personalities talking. And he says, Daraqutni said, Hakim said, I heard Daraqutni say, غَيْرَ marra, over and over again. Abu Abdurrahman, he didn't call him Nasai, but he called him his kunya, out of respect. Abu Abdurrahman, Muqaddam. All of those who the people point their finger towards, fulan, he's better than all of them. Okay? With regards to hadith and with regards to the narrators. وَكَانَ فِي غَايَةِ Imam, not only did he have the knowledge, but he was very pious, extremely cautious. He was a man of the deen. And from the virtues that he was known for is that he always made the fast of Dawood. He fasted every other day. Think about that. Every other day. Could you do that for a year? After Ramadan, how exhausted do most of us feel? Realistically. Right? Tired. You miss your morning coffee. Right? You miss your afternoon cigarette, right? It's a reality. Imagine fasting every other day for an entire year, and then 2 years and 3 years. Kana yuwadhibu. That was his sunnah, to do the fast of Dawood, which was the best of fasting, every other day. Sakana bi Misra. He went to Egypt. He lived there. And that's when his legacy really became widespread. His books. The people learned from him. And then afterwards, he relocated to Damascus, where he passed away Yawmul Ithnain, on Monday, the 13th of Safar, in the year 303. He was 85 years old. May Allah have mercy upon him. So what do we notice about his death? Quickly, what can we observe about his death? He died late. He died outside of the 3rd century, the Qarn al-Thalith, the middle, the golden era. He did not die within that era. So technically, he's from the Imams of the 4th. The century is always ahead. Bukhari lived and died within the 3rd. Muslim, Tirmidhi, Abu Dawud, they all lived and died within the 3rd. He died 303, the very beginning of the 4th. So technically speaking, he shouldn't be in the bracket. But because he lived the majority of his life in the 3rd century and he was so strong, he's there. Everybody clear on this? Secondly, we see how old he was. 85 is a pretty long life. Nowadays, in 2024, let alone back then. So for him to reach 85 years is an extensive life. Now, and obviously, it isn't mentioned here some of the trials that Imam An-Nasa'i went through, some of his mihan and his fitan. All right, he went through many trials in his life, and especially towards the end of his life. It's not mentioned here. طيب, Jazakallah khairan. Bismillah. Al-Imam Ibn Majah. We have a new reader. Anybody volunteer to read? Bismillah. طيب, Bismillah. Wasil. الرحال ترى صاحب رحلة واسعة يعني. صنف في رحلته كتاب في التفسير وكتاب في التاريخ وفيه دون أخبار الرجال الذين دونوا السنة من عصر الصحابة إلى عصره وكتاب السنة. توفي ابن ماجه في يوم الاثنين 22 من رمضان سنة 73 و200 عن 64 عام. لاحظ الفرق 64 85. Jazakallah khairan. All right, so Imam Ibn Majah. Now let's mix it up a little bit to show you some more references in English. Ibn Majah. All right, who's our volunteer reader? It's English, so we shouldn't have any issues, huh? طيب. Bismillah. Who's our reader in English? Bismillah. تفضل. ابن ماجه.
أبو عبد الله محمد ابن يزيد ابن ماجه
الربعي
القزويني Arabic, born 209, Hijri 824, Gregorian died 273, Hijri 887. Gregorian, commonly known as Ibn Majah, was a medieval scholar of Hadith of Persian origin. He compiled the last Sunni Islam's 6 canonical Hadith collection, Sunan Ibn Majah.
طيب. Ibn Majah, the last of the Imams, his name, just like the other Imams, with exceptions to Muslim, wasn't Majah or Ibn Majah. Majah wasn't his father's name. But his name was Muhammad, the son of Yazid. And his kunya was Abu Abdullah, Abu Abdurrahman, right? Abu al-Hussein, Abu Dawud, Abu Isa. His kunya was Abu Abdullah, Muhammad ibn Yazid, Rab'i, Qazwini. 2 inscriptions. Rab'i, going back to the Arabian tribe of Banu Rabi'ah, which he wasn't from through ancestry, but through connection. One of his great-grandfathers was a slave, was a captive, was a servant of a tribe. He was manumitted, and he was ascribed to that Arabian tribe. Like we said before, if you're after Islamic scholarship, Islamic scholastics, whether you like it or not, one way or another, at some point in time or another, you're going to have to pass through the junction of the Arabs. That's just how it is, whether you like it or not, if you're after Islamic scholarship. So he's affiliated to that tribe, but his land where he was born, where he was raised, is a place called Qazwin, which we'll get into, inshallah ta'ala. He was a medieval scholar of Hadith, in the medieval times of the Gregorian calendar, and he was of Persian origin. And he compiled the last of Sunni Islams. What does that mean? Why is there such thing called Sunni Islam? That's a reality of the 6 canonical Hadith collections, Al-Kutub al-Sitta, right? Which is known as Sunan Ibn Majah. Biography, Ibn Majah was born. Fadal?
Ibn Majah was born
Qazvin. All right. So what is this right here? Let's look at this. What's that? What part of the earth is this? Quickly. Who knows what part of the earth this is? What part of the land is this? Yalla. Iran. What body of water is this? What body of water? Black Sea? Mediterranean? Red Sea. MashaAllah. Tayyib. Allahu Akbar. What body of water is this? Indian Ocean? What part is this? This little squiggly thingy. What's that called? Canal? What is this called? What are we looking at right there? Geography. We said this last week. Studying Hadith forces you to be sharper in other sciences. Did we not say this? Yusuf? Right? When you study Hadith, it forces you to what? To sharpen up in your English, your history, and your geography. We should know what that little pointy thing is. We should know what this little, right now, what's going on in the world today. La, it's a good guess, but you far. You're going to be lost looking for Suez right there, bro. What is this right here? The Arab Sea, the Arabian Sea, the Red Sea. Our younger brother in the back said. All right, what country is this? Bahrain. What's this? Kuwait. MashaAllah. Tayyib. All right, what is this called right here? Hormuz Strait. MashaAllah. Tayyib. Strait of Hormuz. A lot of action right there for some time. All right? Okay, the Hormuz Strait. And what's this thing he called? Arabian Gulf. Why isn't it the Persian Gulf? Who gives it the right to call it a channel? Why is it the English channel? Why not the French channel? Politics, right? Politics rule. All right, let's check this out really quick, guys. Qazvin. All right. Inshallah, you read for us again, please. Let's see how to make this larger. Zoom. All right. Qazvin. Bismillah. Qazvin with a V.
Also romanized as Qazvin.
In Arabic, Qazvin with a waw. Etc. Is a city.
Is a city in the central district of Qazvin County, Qazvin Province, Iran, serving as capital of the province, the country, and the district. It is the largest city in the Qazvin province. Qazvin, it was the capital of the
Safavid. Who were the Safavids? Long discussion concerning the Safavids and the different wars that were fought with another superpower of the Muslims. Who were they? Not the Abbasids. Ottomans. Muslims, unfortunately, whatever their sect or whatever, have been fighting for a very long time. It didn't start with this one or that one. It's been a very long time. Muslims fighting each other before fighting the people outside of Islam for sure. But the Shiites, Muslim, were they Ismaili or whatever? Al-Muhim, outwardly, they said, La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Right? So the Ottomans and the Safavids fought many wars, bloody wars. Right? All right, Bismillah, for over 40 years, 1555 to 1598. And nowadays is known as the calligraphy capital of Iran. It is famous for traditional confectionaries like baklava, carpet patterns, poets, political newspaper, and Pahlavi influence on his accent. What do we know about Pahlavi? Where's the Ashab al-Tariq? Ain antum, mahrakum. What's famous about Pahlavi? Who was the famous person with that name? Pahlavi. Abu Yusuf. Tayyib, Jazakallah khairan. Muhammad Riza. Aywa, mashallah. Tayyib. See how it all comes together? The history, the geography, the hadith, the background. Why we have these different wars and fights, the Arabs, the Persians, the this, the that, Palestine, Israel, etc., etc. This dynasty falling, rising. From one thing we learn 10,000 things. All right, moving forward, at the 2006 census, its population, etc. History, Qazvin has sometimes been of central importance at major moments of Iranian history. It was captured by invading Arabs. Invading Arabs. How did Islam spread? What was the religion of the people before the Arabs invaded? Islam is peaceful, peace, peace, peace. History gives you the reality of stuff. And history cannot be whitewashed or sugar-coated or frosted or glazed. History is the reality. It is what it is. It was what it was. All right, what's important is that's Qazvin. Once again, the same map. Current day Iran. Where do we have it? Let's see. Where's it supposed to have the red dot? Top left. You sure? Top left. Where? I don't see it. So that's what I'm saying. It's supposed to be there. Tayyib? All right. Qazvin, that's where Ibn Majah was from. So he was from current day Iran. Are we going to understand this? So if you come from Iran, and we don't want to get into no political or debates or whatever the case may be, but if you come from Iran, no one can come along and say that Iran is just a Shiite country. There are Shiites, Ismailiyya, Rafida, Ithna Ashar, etc. You can take pride in your Sunni Hadith legacy and lineage, right? Khairan inshallah. All right, so let's get back to Ibn Majah. Really quick before we stop. Description, that's his book. All right. Sunan Ibn Majah, Qazvin, Bismillah. Al-Imam Ibn Majah. All right, tayyib. So he traveled to many locations. He went to Iraq and Basra, Kufa, Baghdad, Mecca, Sham, Egypt, just for writing down and recording hadiths. And while he was traveling, he wrote three works. A book on tafsir, a book on history, in which he spoke on the narrators and the men, and of course his famous book, As-Sunan. He died on Monday, the 22nd of Ramadan. And he was 64 years old in the year 273. So he died before who? Nasa'i. And he also died before somebody else. Who died in 275? Ibn Majah is older. He has precedence than some other Imams who died after him. Khairan inshallah. All right, tayyib. What's important is that this is brief, simple, summarized, simplified, quick glimpse or glance into the lives of these Imams. If you want more, if you need more, you aren't satisfied yet, you have a bigger appetite, I've shared with you some of the sources in English and in Arabic. You can read, you can study, and you can benefit many things, inshallah ta'ala. Let's make a quick search, if that's okay. Really fast. Let's type in see what we got here. Small, brief documentary on Imam al-Bukhari's life. Muslim here. You guys get the point. Naam. That actually is a sister. She was a student of mine at the time when we were putting together these biographies. Al-Maqsood is that the sources are there. Simple sources, extensive sources, English sources, Arabic sources, I'm sure in Persian, Urdu, other languages as well. Khair inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. We'll stop our class here tonight with regards to the explanation. If there are questions, I don't mind entertaining them now. We can cut the lights on, please, inshallah. If there are any questions from the audience, we'll take them. And if not, we'll stop. Khairan inshallah. Bismillah. Why is Muwatta not in the Kutub al-Sitta? Many reasons. One reason is the time. Malik died and he lived and died before the 3rd century. He didn't live in the 3rd century, the golden era. So from the time wise, the Tasnif Zamani, he's not included because of that. Secondly, Muwatta's book is relatively, please be patient with the words that I'm going to say, La ta'jalu alayya, is inferior to the Kutub al-Sitta with regards to the khama, the size and the isnad and the style. Muwatta's book has isnads. It's a book of hadith, but there's many balaghat. There are hadiths with no chains. Balagani. Let alone Imam Malik's view. Ahl al-Madina, Fulan, al-Qasim, Sa'id ibn Musayyib, etc. Whereas Kutub al-Sitta is aghda, hadathana, akhbarana. Every chapter, every bab is full of musnadat, right? Including all of the main 8 subjects of hadith. These are some reasons why. A third answer, and that's what I mean by inferior, from that aspect. Obviously, Imam Malik's book is a great book, and Imam Malik is the sheikh. He preceded them, as we read, the different Imams who did study with him and learn from him. But Imam Malik was before them. His book was much more of a fiqh hadith type of hybrid. Thirdly, is that there were some scholars who may have included and said Malik's book should be there. In other words, there is no consensus that the 6 are these 6. Some of them put Darimi instead of Ibn Majah. And some of them may have mentioned Malik. These are ba'd al-asbab. And of course, the most important of those reasons is a tasnif al-zamani. All of those a'imma sitta عاشوا في إيش؟ في القرن الثالث وصنفوا كتبهم في القرن الثالث بخلاف مالك رحمه الله تعالى. Malik's life, Malik's biography, inshallah, it will come. Maybe next week. يأتي inshallah ta'ala. وإياكم. طيب, any other questions before we stop? Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you for your participation. Shukran lakum.